Hey y'all, this is Jeremiah, pastor at Centennial ARP Church. Thanks for tuning in for a video devotional. We are in Proverbs chapter 10. We'll start with verse 12 and we'll read a section of individual proverbs that are kind of gated by the word hatred, verses 12 through verse 18. Notice in verse 12 there will be this word hatred. In verse 18 there will be this word hatred, and in between some things that we would do well to pay attention to. This is Proverbs chapter 10, starting with verse 12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. On the lips of him who has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. The wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool brings ruin near. A rich man's wealth is his strong city. The poverty of the poor is their ruin. The wage of the righteous leads to life, the gain of the wicked to sin. Whoever heeds instruction is on the path to life, but he who rejects reproof leads others astray. The one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. These proverbs here that we find ourselves in, and if you recall, we have kind of transitioned into the Proverbs proper. We've taken 9 chapters to get there, but now this father writing to his son is laying out the groundwork of all of these bits and pieces and parts of wisdom that are so necessary for the Christian, for the follower of God to move forward in a wise and appropriate way. Remember, of course, that God is the one giving us this wisdom in the first place, and it bears out in these little nuts and bolts of the life that we're seeking to live. And we'll see that here as we have these bookends of hatred and this reality that our heart disposition matters. Dear Christian, today, as you consider these proverbs here in Proverbs chapter 10, what is your heart disposition? Is it one of joy and contentment in the Lord, or is it one of hatred leading to envy and strife and greed and selfishness and so on, which is of the world? It is so easy for us to read these proverbs and to point the finger at somebody else and say, yes, Jane Doe over there is a full embodiment of this negative thing or something. And you know what, here, I am a full embodiment of this positive thing. But when we stop and when we truly begin to work through who we are as people, we begin to, at least I hope to see, our own sin in a real way that gives us the opportunity to turn from such things and go the exact opposite direction. Today, as you think about the reality of hatred and strife, of the mouth of a fool bringing ruin, of rejecting reproof, of concealing anger and holding it in your heart, of slandering others, either with your mouth or in your heart. As we begin to think through this and think, no, I am that person, God is giving us an opportunity to yet again remind ourselves that love covers all offenses, and that we see that bear itself out in the Lord Jesus as he comes in love for his people to take away their sin, to bear the burden of all that stuff I just mentioned that makes us say, no, that's me. Jesus looks at us and says, that's you. And I will take these things from you and give unto you the wisdom and righteousness you need to live a life everlasting. This is what we get here in these proverbs, a reality of our own sin, but at the same time, a reality of God's love for us, that there is a different path, a path of righteousness that we are afforded because of the Lord Jesus Christ and his work on our behalf. Be blessed today as you think on these things.